Dantes is a pretty much world-renowned streamer now, and recently he broke up with his girlfriend, and that wouldn't be a big deal if it didn't cause a drama that runs so deep and so visceral that it genuinely impacts everybody's medical health history, as well as influencers' privacy overall. Make sure to comment if you believe that influencers should have privacy or not. I don't know. Maybe you think they should have no privacy because they chose this career. Maybe you do think they should have privacy. But here we go. This is Dantes and his ex-girlfriend, Laura/Lauren is what I've heard her called Lauren a couple of times before. I don't know what her actual name is. I am a Dantes supporter on YouTube. I watch his clips. They're pretty funny. It's very clear that he plays a character online where he's kind of a goofball, kind of has some bad takes, but that's kind of his character as well as having bad takes. He plays League of Legends. So if you don't know, that's like the game where you basically have to lock yourself in a room and never touch grass ever to be good at. And basically, him and his girlfriend broke up. This was a big deal because he posted a giant Twitter thread about it, talking about why he's not ready for a relationship and that he told her that she was going to be his first priority over his career and that he is not ready to put anybody over his career and he's not ready to do a lot of things and that he's picking League of Legends and streaming and putting himself first, basically, and he's not ready for a relationship because he can't put himself behind his significant other. Totally valid take. Makes sense why they broke up. If you can't give yourself or your partner 100% of you, you shouldn't necessarily be in a relationship. Now, there's certain caveats to that if you are focusing on a career, you are technically investing in your financial literacy, and you are also investing in your significant other by doing so. I run that mindset personally. My wife, Kayla, understands that I run that mindset, and she knows that though a lot of times I'm working, she could always come in here and say, hey, this is more important, and I would leave in a heartbeat because she is more important. And it was also a big deal because Laura got a tattoo that says Dante's name right across her chest, ready for everybody to see. If she ever has a dude even look at her in her direction and she's wearing a crop top, they can see that another dude's name on her chest. That is something that is definitely a no-go in any relationship that I've ever been in. You do not get a name tatted on you of somebody else that you don't know you're going to be with for the rest of your life. So she was very in depth. She really, really, really wanted to stay with this guy forever. And a lot of people commented on the fact that, hey, you're probably going to get that taken and getting rid of at some point. She said she's not getting rid of even after the accident or the split, which was important. And ultimately, that's all I thought this drama was going to have. Just a tattoo, just an innocent tattoo. Until somebody came live named Tarzaned. Tarzaned is actually a way I've heard it pronounced. It's either Tarzaned, Tarzaned. I don't really know exactly what it is, but the point is that he comes live and he starts saying some foul things about Dantes. He says that Dantes is a bad friend. He has multiple reasons why Dantes is a bad friend. He has multiple reasons why Laura was taken advantage of by Dantes, where women were taken advantage of by Dantes. And Dantes basically combats all of these in this tweet right here, where he talks about accusations and his response to things. These accusations were things that are very topical level, not very deep, where like he posted pictures of his girls that he was with. He was with multiple girls at once. He never wanted monogamy. On nice dates. He got the girls to basically come up and say, hey, this guy was going on nice dates with other girls. He talks about how he would take multiple girls to the same plaza. He says, oh, well, I like that plaza. Basically, very human responses to this question. If you are a guy and you are single and you are not in a monogamous committed relationship, that's okay. You can post pictures of other girls on your story. You can hang out with other girls. There's no rule that says if you're not in a monogamous relationship, you can't hang out with other girls. And I very much so agree with Dantes on this situation. But then Tarzaned comes up and says something truly foul, something that is deeply exposing Dantes and Laura's medical history in a way that is absolutely gross. Tarzaned says this, and I just want to play the clip for you because honestly, the way that he frames this is extremely rough.
Right. 1 month into the relationship, Laura was pregnant with Dantes' child, and when she's at her most vulnerable, scared, anxious, he let her fly back to Germany to get an abortion while he stayed home in Stream League, basically, is a TLDR. And that is the nuke, basically.
That is the nuke. The nuke is leaking a woman's personal health history. Regardless of how you feel about abortions, regardless of how I feel about abortions, I think everybody can realize that leaking somebody's personal health is wrong. It's wrong. And he framed Dantes as the guy who forced her to do this. Forced her to do this. That's basically what he is saying right here. He's saying when she was weak, when she was afraid, he forced her to fly back to Germany while he was streaming and get an abortion. This is her response to this video. This is their response to this video. It is 1 minute and 42 seconds, and I am going to apologize. It's going to get loud. It's not great audio quality. She is crying. He is angry.
2 hours after getting it, I completely broke down, and I had to go to the emergency because I was just emotionally completely out of it.
She's talking about how it actually was her decision and how she really felt bad about doing it after, and how terrible this has made her feel that this is all public. This is just me talking over her while she's crying because ultimately it's very hard to understand her here. She's talking about her personal family history. She's talking about how she talked with her family, how she coped with this decision.
I have pressured you into getting it, so it's so unfair to me.
Talking about her family pressuring her into getting it, actually, which is not of her own accord. This is actually that would be of her family's accord.
History with abortion, this should have never been public. This is something he was told in private.
Say things about.
So this is his response after the fact. She has now left the room, and this is him talking about it with her out of the room. She clearly got overwhelmed, and she had to leave the room.
About me, right?
It's going to get very loud.
The fact that he decides to leak something like that as some kind of truth bomb. The fact that this disgusting fucking piece of shit.
I'm trying to blur the. I'm gonna say there will be curse words here. If you don't like hearing that, I'm sorry. I normally don't curse in my videos, but this is going to be a point where I want to show the raw emotion of Dantes here.
In front of thousands of people, leaking probably the most traumatic thing that either of us has ever had to go through. In front of thousands, when I didn't even talk about it to my closest friends.
Dantes does talk about this in a separate tweet as well. He talks about how he literally only told 2 people the entire time. It was his parents. Well, that's 3 people. His parents and 1 other person. He talks about this earlier on in the stream. I couldn't find the clip. I have seen the clip myself, though. It's definitely something that is extremely dark and not okay. I know that this is a little bit of a different twist from my normal situations and my normal topics, but I wanted to bring this to light because ultimately I think influencers deserve privacy in their medical history. This is a medical history thing. This is a private medical history that somebody decided to share. It's not something that is okay, and I hope that Tarzaned gets what he deserves here. That's not something you leak. That is not something that was a bombshell against Dantes. This is something that just hurts every party that he talked about. Let me know what your opinion is in the description, and I will see you beat-ups later.